Live. We're going to be playing an RPG tonight. This is the Wander... I gotta, hold on. Gotta get that reverb. The WANDERVERSE. It is a sci-fi custom homebrew game. My name is Todd, and I'm the producer type, but let me introduce everybody around the table. Hi, everybody around the table.
Hi, Todd.
Hello. All right, we're good.
Hello.
Rock and roll. That's all I got.
All right, so last game, you acquired yourself a ship, and I believe there was a voting process to come up with the new ship name.
Oh, it's better than the boot kick.
The ship name is Fruit Bat. The masses have spoken. It is the Fruit Bat.
Is it the Fruit Bat or Fruit Bat?
No, it's the Fruit Bat.
Yes.
Okay. As you acquired the Fruit Bat, it is still essentially stolen Galactic Alliance property. So you thought it in your best interest to figure out a way to make it less hot, as the parlance is. So in your last game, you met with Captain Upgrade, the Chrysalid. Thank you. I was thinking Chelavid? No, that's bad. The Chrysalid, who gave you a bunch of information on his go-to person for this kind of stuff. And I'm assuming that you were going there?
Yeah. Yes, right. That's right.
Yes.
So, the location that Captain Upgrade gives you, it's a pretty far away system. Like, none of you have really heard of it. It's not on anyone's, like, go-to place. You get a bit of information. It's a forest moon around a binary star. So basically, there's two red dwarfs that circle each other. Then there is a rocky planet that circles the binary stars, and then there is the moon that is terraformed and habitable. This small moon is called Knotwood. The reason it got its name of Knotwood was when they were terraforming it, the terraformers were ecstatic because they started seeing trees start to grow on their own. And it wasn't until they had grown into these massive, 90-foot tall, monster trees that the terraformers realized that it's not actually made out of tree. They're every single tree on the moon is a genetic clone of the next one over. It's actually a moon-sized fungal growth that just looks like trees. So you can cut the trees down, turn them into building materials, but that's kind of it. They don't burn well. You can't, you can make houses out of them, you can make basic tools, but that's kind of about it. Also, the land is full of these trees, so it's easy to grow more trees, but you can't grow stuff like crops. So you can't really have a lot of you can have individual farms where you can eke out a living for yourself, but you can't turn it into a agricultural planet. There's nothing worth mining on it. Even at one point, a bunch of rich mega corporation people decided that it would be a good retreat planet to go to and have hunting sprees. So they filled it full of deer and sheep and rabbits, and then they tried to put in a bunch of more fun to hunt animals like dire wolves and mega cockroaches. but all the mega carnivores died out. So essentially, you have a totally habitable planet that there is very little value in. So it has one Galactic Alliance outpost, and then a bunch of just people who are lucky enough to not be on a work planet, but not rich enough to be on a better planet. So essentially,
Wondering if this fungal tree might make for good mushrooms. For the record, I meant edible kind. Well, they're all edible, but you know what I mean. The standard kind. I like mushrooms.
If you enjoy chewing on bark, you can enjoy eating some knotwood trees.
I mean, all mushrooms are edible if you're determined enough.
Define edible. So MacPack could go and do that and be like, maybe this is what humans do.
You get to eat them once.
All right, so and the whole system that Knotwood is in is also like pretty empty. Like, it is essentially the only habitable planet in the solar system. So the only people that go there are people that are going there specifically because they want to go to Knotwood and not have to go to a work planet, or they're going there because the Galactic Alliance has told them to go there for some reason. So it's like, it's nicely out of the way, it's nicely secluded, but there's still enough there that it's not like landing on a planet with a bunch of Ewoks and hoping for the best.
Can you describe what the fruit bat looks like for us? I'm trying to imagine whether or not this is the kind of ship that we can actually pilot to a planet, and like, does it have like landing struts? Can we sort of like land?
I kind of picture the fruit bat as like having like a cockpit in the front, and then like
party in the back. Sorry.
We should have called it the mullet.
Maybe we should have asked for the description before we named it the fruit bat. Although it'd be pretty funny if it actually looked like a fruit bat.
That's true. I'm guessing it's about like a Corvette size, like where it has room for like people. It's got holds. It's got a cockpit, but it's not like a huge. It's not like a transport.
Yeah, it's like it's about the same. Like, imagine like two semi trucks, like those big like 18-wheeler, mash two of them together, and it's about that size with them like. Yeah, so kind of like the image I got was kind of like that, where like there's cockpit, there's storage, there's like this like side
port and
like
a starboard nacelle.
Yeah.
And
they kind of like they raise and lower depending on what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can land and go BTOL, and it's got these fancy little like wiggling dings along the side that give it like a little extra maneuverability.
I just picture somebody like myself or maybe Jay's character like using them as like raise it up, raise it lower down, raise it up, lower then. Like hydraulics on some like.
But it's got room for 6 crew. You told us it was comfortable, and there's a sealed cargo bay. So we might even want to just land just to see whether we can crack the cargo bay from the outside. Or find out what the heck's going on with that.
I wouldn't want to crack anything from the outside on a ship that needs to survive re-entry.
You also like you guys y'all have tools. Like the crew that was there before, it looks like they just kind of like mashed at the door with like a graviton hammer. But you've got a couple of people that have plasma torches, you've got people that actually know how to fix stuff. You could also just try opening the door during your flight there. Or you can wait till you arrive and land and do it somewhere in the safety of ground.
Wait, what skill? I'm wondering if I can roll. I guess the closest skill to like tech or anything is like sensors and repair, which are the ones that I've got.
We already
I'm
tried
wondering if
sensors
I could.
on it.
Yeah.
But and I tried to use my own sort of telepathy to see whether there was any sort of thought processes going on in the hold. But the answer I got was that there are echoes of thoughts, but no thoughts. So I don't know if you guys, while still like in orbit around Knotwood, want to try to use like a repair roll to try and get that cargo door open.
I can try.
It could be that it's whatever's inside is super dangerous. It could be that having something inside that's super dangerous unleashed on us in space is better than having it unleashed on us on a habited planet. But I don't know. It's up to you guys.
Sorry to interrupt.
Telepathically.
Sorry to interrupt, but Brendan, I wasn't here last game, so what character are you? I just wanted to know your name and stuff. I know everybody else from a previous game, I think, but yours I don't know.
Oh, okay.
The rest of us have. We could. Well, Philip Hopper and I have our names flipped on the chat. Why don't we do that?
Oh, sure, I can do that. Here, let me just put my name up here.
And reveal.
I told you I'm going to blame you for this, by the way, when you named your character.
Yeah, I know. That's fine.
Especially because I had to do QA today. And
so Vanessa is an Oon. She is, in other words, one of these sort of a jellyfish-like creature with a sort of a large brain inside the jellyfish bell. The brain has telepathy. She has 90 tentacles. Each one is about the length of a human leg, but this sort of the width and the strength of a human finger. And she mostly gets around the ship in a pod, which is sort of a sphere about the size of like a yoga ball. And it's sort of reinforced clear aluminum over the top, so you can see the top of the sort of distinctive jellyfish top, and then the bottom is all mechanized. There's a repulsor beam at the bottom that kind of allows the pod to sort of hover, and it moves almost jellyfish-like around the ship. And then hanging down from the base of that pod are 30 of these blue sleeves. It's like neoprene. Imagine the gloves that you would use for surgery or whatever. So there's 30 of these sleeves, and they're filled with water, and each sleeve has 3 tentacles in it, and that allows her to interact with systems and devices and oh yeah,
hell of a
grenades.
typist.
Yes, that too. And pianist. So yeah, she's been throwing grenades at intruders, and she started with 3. Now she only has. We hear that sound effect so often. I've only got one implosion grenade left, so after that I'm going to be switching to one of these found disintegration pistols, but I don't have a lot of ability in that. My backstory involves having a lot of scientific knowledge of like sub particles, so she has a particular knack for neutrino cannons. But we haven't been able to test that out yet. But now that we have a ship with a mostly busted neutrino cannon, I might be able to make some use of it. Anyway, that's it. Oh, and she communicates telepathically, so like she'll send, symbols and, emoticons and things into people's minds that sometimes make sense, but usually don't, because it's all sort of Oon specific. They have a lot of like gestures and things that don't really translate when you don't have 90 limbs.
And the thumbs up icon is like confusing.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Flipping the bird is universal across the entire the entire galaxy. It's the...
Oh yeah, just pick one in the middle.
And for those listening to the podcast, just imagine what looks like.
All right, so you've got a couple of options. What do y'all want to do?
I would like to go with Vanessa's suggestion and try to use, I guess it would be use repair on the door to see if nothing else, like if I can't open it, then if I can glean anything about it from the attempt at opening.
Okay. Give me a repair roll.
5. Not bad.
I'm gonna look at this image that.
That's a good roll. 5 is a good roll.
Thank you.
All right. So, MacPack heads over to the door. So your options for opening it are either open it so that it can lock again, or open it so that you can see what's on the other side. And unfortunately, the tools you currently have are like, my options are I can open it and then it'll be open. So you take a laser saw and a crowbar and you just kind of like cut down the locking mechanism area of where the lock should be, and then crank open the door with a crowbar, and then you're in.
A gravitron crowbar.
Apparently. Well, MacPack is a quadruped with weird tentacly formable appendages, so I guess, yeah, I can just see that.
So you hear like a hiss.
I would also like to signal everyone on the crew right now and just say, I've opened the cargo hold. Okay.
You open the door and you hear like a puff, like the sound of the air that was in the cargo hold and the air that was in the rest of the ship are suddenly commingling for the first time in probably a while. It smells musty and dusty in the hold, which is strange because it's on a rotating like system, so like someone must have gone through great lengths to keep the cargo hold just kind of like separated.
Am I able to detect? It's weird. I don't know whether to ask the questions because I'm not human, and I'm just wondering like what sensory bits do I have. So I'm wondering if I can detect the oxygen level and whether it's a vacuum. It was a vacuum sealed cargo hold.
Can you use use the device to actually use the electric eyes you got from the person?
Oh right, I do have the electric eyes. I forgot about them. And I have devices +1. I completely forgot about that too.
Not me. I'm just pre-rolling dodge. Something bad's coming. Something bad's coming.
The idea of memories lost in a dusty container suggests to me that this was a place that if there either something happened, because that was what Vanessa said, and MacPack does not understand. But is wondering about, like, does that mean that there's somebody frozen or suspended in here in this cargo hold? In which case, yes, I'm glad I called all of you. Where are you, by the way, in all of this?
I assume that everyone's kind of like hanging out by the door, all clumped together in one small area, like all bunched up.
Yes.
No. I rolled dodge 3 right now, and I'm gonna have like several, maybe like a dozen tentacles kind of like up, like
and are the rest reaching for wherever you put this new blaster?
No, the rest are just kind of dangling away, like almost the way like Velma would kind of like scooty scoot in the background, like just kind of get away from this door, maybe behind you guys.
I think I would be like actually not there, but at the command trying to understand how the shields works or how to activate things if everything happened.
Okay, so
But I
one
keep
person on the
an
ship.
ear open and be like just like, don't forget the eyes.
Right.
All right, so the cargo bay door opens. You have that puff of oxygen, like air mixing, and it's like the cargo bay is not large. It's like kind of the size of a dorm room. So like this ship is built for speed, maneuverability, shooting stuff, and looking cool. So it's got like not that much of cargo. And in this room, it is bare and like white, like sterile white, like someone like went through great effort to completely cover every surface in like a white coating. And in the middle of the room is an archway. So it's, you know, like the two side pieces and a top part, just a white doorway. On one side that is so you guys are looking at like this. On this side is just a blank, like onyx like reflective, flat, hard looking surface. And on this side of the doorway looks like an explosion that was frozen in time. So it's these purple and red flames that are exploding out of the door and then just stopped there.
Okay. Let's just
Mac
quietly
turns
shut
to
the
everyone
door
and says,
and walk
"Statistic-
backwards and
We
just
cannot
brush
shut
our
the door."
tentacles together and never speak of this again.
You can shut the door, you just can't lock it again.
Right.
Okay. Well, yeah, Mac Pack turns around and says, statistically speaking, this appears to be ominous. Yes?
I think
Am I right?
that's future us's problem. Who wants coffee? I'm assuming I'm there. I actually don't know.
Yes, you're there.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
we're all
I was
hanging
just
around
really quiet. The last however long. I go into fits of like staring at the wall. It's part of the freezer burnt brain. It's like the 1,000 light year stare where I'd spent so long in stasis I sometimes slip back into the waking dream. And I come back
Or
to it.
perhaps
I'm
you're
like,
in the waking dream now and you're still frozen.
Yeah. That'd haunt you.
it does now.
Do we have
Should we call this the
tricorders and
Twin
things like
Peak?
that we could use to kind of like
Not
and
really.
figure out
You've
what
got
this thing
you've got your PVs, you've got your weapons, like stuff like tricorders, like portable sensors. You need to have money to buy.
Okay. So maybe
Well-
this is the kind of thing that we like shut the door on. Go and make sure that our ship no longer seems like it's stolen. You know, like scrub the VIN number? I don't know.
Can we talk mechanics for a second?
Hmm?
Just thinking about sensors and such, and the fact that I'm a clearly not human robot that's an amalgamation of pieces. I do have the sensor skill. I'm wondering if that also translates to, and I'm also realizing that there's no like awareness skill. But I'm wondering if that translates to to what's clearly a non-human mechanical life form.
So sensors are more for...
I also don't have eyes. Well, I do. I picked them up off of someone else.
So sensors are more for using using and interpreting the ship's system, and then devices would be for whatever.
Activating something, I guess.
Yeah. So like what you like as a droid, you have a more or less humanoid-like ability to see what's going on in the world around you. I mean, you can decide how you interpret that, like whether you see everything as grayscale, but it's like the Matrix, or you whatever. But if you wanted to purchase like upgrades, like cybernetics, or I guess just random upgrades for yourself, then you could use those with like either use them or put them as devices, or.
Well, speaking of the upgrades, finding or whatever, what do those eyes I took do?
So give me a repair roll, see if you can attach them to yourself.
It was described in the last episode as flitting between infrared and other spectrums.
Right.
3.
Yeah. So like you've already got like your standard like the way that you see and interpret the world. You have like a very good binocular vision, and then like an okay periphery. It's very human standard, but with the addition of these eyes, you can also switch it to infrared, night vision, thermal vision, and you can see like in different spectra. The eyes kind of cycle on their own, so it's less confusing for you at the moment to just stay with your standard vision and then switch to the cyber eyes when you want to see something different. And again, it's like it will just cycle through the 4 different options for vision, and then cycle through again. So it's more like I'm gonna get an idea of what's going on, and not like, okay, I'm gonna look at this and I'm gonna figure out exactly what's going on with this heat pattern, because by the time you get a good bead on the heat pattern, it switches to infrared, and then to X-ray, and then to something else, and then something else.
Okay.
So while he's doing that, I'm making coffee, and I rolled a 1 on my devices.
This shitty coffee.
You and your coffee ancestry.
You go over
tastes
to the
like hydraulic
replicator
fluid.
He's still drinking it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it grows on me.
The replicator that you guys have is most replicators just make like a totally digestible oatmeal-like sludge that has all of the nutrients that you need for a day. This one is very good because it has a couple of options. You can make cheeseburger, double cheeseburger and fries, turkey dinner, or whiskey. So instead of making beer, or instead of making coffee, you could make whiskey. That would have all of the nutrients that you need to sustain for a meal.
All right, guys, I figured it out. We're on an Irish ship. Sorry.
Well, what kind of whiskey? I mean, is it a bourbon whiskey? Like,
It is future whiskey, where like the fact that it is the flavor of whiskey without having actually any of the
so
the barreling. Yeah,
I'm probably the only one who's actually had the real deal before I left Earth, like however many thousand years ago.
I mean, I eat like a slurry of like phytoplankton and other things like that, so I'm not
mostly sea.
I'll lift your top and pour some in your tank.
No, it burns.
MacPack tried, but it just ran down the pins of their face, and a long time ago, and it's been a pain to get out.
Made a clean spot.
So I don't think that's, I mean, unless you guys want to try like messing with this like gateway into like some alternate hellscape, maybe we should just leave it alone until we have some decent like tricorders to like sensor roll it,
Or a place
like,
to
Mhm.
run.
pieces roll it.
And
And-
also our full crew. Speaking of which, where are the others in all of this?
Napping.
Bo is probably resting because he was
Mm.
dying not long ago.
Oh yes.
Med bay.
Okay. Well, let's
And
The
check out
arm
Knotwood.
is
Let's,
almost regrown.
And Peeps is busy like just saving copies in a replicator. I don't know.
Peeps is busy
What?
rehydrating
Trying to convert
been
using
eaten.
whiskey.
by Bo's character to gain some hit points.
I don't think
No,
I'm
I
just
did that.
Peeps
I
was not actually eaten.
yeah. We found out that Peeps is one of the Marshmallow that does not appreciate being eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, although I did revive someone. I think it was Bo's
Yeah.
character last time.
Mm.
You're right, though.
All right, so you're heading to Knotwood.
Yeah,
Yeah, we gotta find a
let's
chop
go
shop.
down and
Yeah, gotta find a place.
yeah,
to...
we shut the
down.
door.
And we have a contact from Captain Upgrade about someone who can help us, like, becomes less suspicious or
Yeah.
more incognito.
Yeah, there's general coordinates and then the name Ancient Greece.
Ancient Prince?
Ancient Greece.
Yeah.
Ancient Greece. Alright.
That reminds
Well,
me
that
of this
means nothing
movie I
to
grew
me
up
as a
with.
goon.
Whenever you go to Greece, because I'm the most ancient, so I know history. So here's the thing. When you go to ancient Greece, you have to sing the greeting song and say, Greece, lightning. And you shake their hand and you make eye contact and you flip up your collar like that.
I always thought it was
It's
Bobby
cultural.
Mini Bomb.
Oh.
I
okay.
scanned a lot of films in my waking cycle when I had my 2-year on cycle for maintenance.
All right, so you head down to the coordinates. It's pretty easy to tell where the more populous part of the moon is because you can see where a lot of the trees have been cut down and turned into a city. The North Pole of the moon is where the Galactic Alliance headquarters of the sector is. That's where the main ship port is, where all of the center of commerce is, where all the shopping gets done. But then there's also all over the moon there are little pocket villages of just people who have chopped down a bunch of these big mushroom trees and made some wooden houses and are kind of just eking out what living they can. And the coordinates that you're going to are close to the main city, but not so close that you are definitely 100% going to be seen landing.
I'm going to do a
so
quick
you-
sensor sweep just to
Sure.
see if I can actually run the sensors. And I carefully close my coffee bulb so I don't spill it.
Thank you.
Maybe you should check if there's a neon sign saying near ancient Greece somewhere.
Oh, good idea.
Actually,
so I legitimately don't pick up on sarcasm, so I just I just roll looking for that sign. I'm gonna roll sensors, see how it goes. Hey, crit. So
nice.
that's a total of 7. Oh no, sorry,
Nice.
yeah, D6. So a total of 6.
Okay. Yeah, so you pick up so other than the main city, the sector that you're going to has the second most of an energy output on this hemisphere of the moon. So it may be small and localized, but it's got its own power source. It's got a lot of its own mechanisms. It is not as advanced as the city that it's close to, but it's gonna be the best in the wilderness that is not part of the actual Galactic Alliance.
Sounds like a good spot. Should we hail them? Let them know we're coming, so we don't think we're like goodies.
We're on a hot ship, and one of the reasons why we came here was because, if I remember correctly, was to meet the contact that could make our ship less hot.
Yeah, but we gotta like land.
That was
getting blown out of the air.
I feel like we should like.
So what's the best way to
woods.
do that? Subtly, or to say, "Hey, we're coming in." Don't look at the VIN numbers.
That's
just
true.
cover it with some bushes, you know, like some branches or whatever.
Oh, like go in
and
on
kinda
foot.
like- yeah, and then kind of whistle while we walk, just like
Nonchalantly.
I like it. Let's.
I apologize
With my
if I got
scan, can I look for
distracted, but what's
like a spot we could put down, like an opening in the fungal forest? Which
So
sounds
if I
like something you
understood,
need
we have-
penicillin for the record.
Mm.
I'd like.
That like we have to walk without looking suspicious while whistling and saying, "Walking is a thing I do."
I know we're space people, but yeah, let's go for a walk.
mhm.
What is the? And I apologize if I missed this. What is the tech level of this world?
So the city is like high-end city.
Okay.
But most of the population, like most of the other populations, are like essentially mud huts and like iron tools. It's kind of
So
like
I'm not good.
yeah.
Am I going to stand out as like a demon iron?
No,
Insect?
like they're still part of the Galactic Alliance. They are aware that spaceships happen. These aren't natives. They were brought here when the planet was when the moon was terraformed. So it's not like you're walking out into the Ewoks. It's like you're walking into
The cantina.
yeah. Yeah, it's very like Tatooine, where it's like the cantina is like the outskirt on the edge of Mos Eisley spaceport.
I think a 6-foot face hippo is more rare than a droid in this area.
Yes.
That'll be
Everyone,
fine.
most everyone here would have like known someone that's owned a droid, but space hippo or phase hippos are a little more rare.
Oons are
Okay.
pretty well like known in this galaxy.
They're known about, but seen is a different thing.
Yeah, but actually, well, Oons, chrysalids, and humans in Wrath are the most prevalent. And I would say
If I
that
see
phase hippos are.
Yeah. So if I see any other Oons, I'll give them like the telepathic like high 50, which is like the equivalent of like a high 5 for you like small number of limbs people. Anyway. So are we gonna just sort of shop, or are we gonna head straight for coordinates? Like I can go around and I can kind of ask, be like, hey, has anybody seen ancient Greece?
Oh, so do we have
Let's go
any
get a
credits to
drink.
shop
Let's
if we were going to
land,
shop?
walk, and get a drink. Sorry, I keep talking over you, Will. Or W.
And no, you don't have any credits. Y'all got nothing.
Oh, do we have any money?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, guess we're not getting anything here while we're here, unless, at least not at the beginning, we can figure out a just sort of clear. You'll edit that part out, right?
Well,
Todd?
the only currency I can think we can have is giving a little bit of quasar fuel to the person that's gonna make us less hot. Because we have
Yeah.
a bit.
We do have fuel.
And a lot
We
of
can
it.
also do favors. We're an elite
Right.
Yeah.
squad of
to catch Todd up about
things.
this part, because this was relevant to what we were like the last adventure. So fuel has a mass scarcity at the moment, seemingly, and we started on a transport ship that was very low on fuel, and we took the ship over from pirates, and it actually happens to have a lot. So they basically stole a ship, and we stole it from the people that stole the ship, and it has a lot of fuel. So we gave a little bit to, like, literally just a little bit to the transport, and they looked at it like gold, and we're like, hey, forget this happened, go away, and here's your fuel. So we're trying to we were sent here as a recommendation because they might be help us be able to scrub the GA ties to the ship, and yeah, but we might be able to trade fuel. However, I don't know that we can trade it with a local population.
That's why I think it would be just for the person that's probably expert in making us basically the contact with Upgrade. I think it would be a way to give you an idea of the ratio. We gave like 5 grams of fuel to the thing, and that was like twice as much as they had. And the ship that we have has literal ton of fuel.
Yep.
So it's like, it's really enormous amount.
GM, how much do we really have, like, in grams?
You've got 3/4 of a tank, and yeah, like you've got more than 3/4 of a tank.
But I mean, in terms of like using this as currency, my vote is that we go into town, find ourselves some kind of a cantina, and see if there are any like jobs to pick up. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of
sure.
But
we won't be able to buy a drink when we're at the cantina, but
no, that's okay.
I don't have to worry about that.
If you guys want to,
you can
probably... people like me. We can do this. By the way, I did take away and scoot things around. I'm worse at most things because that's how the dice spoke, but I'm pretty damn good at guile.
Good.
Okay. It might be hard to barter with Quasar in like a little village because they probably don't have a ship to put it in. You might be able to do something more in the city, or in the outpost where you're at now.
Maybe we contact the person directly first, and then see if they want to trade or have us do something for them in exchange for scrubbing the ship. Scrubbing like cleaning, not like exploding. We can handle that on our own.
This seems fair to me. The first thing first before exploring a little bit.
But then definitely cantina.
Yeah,
I like that around. Too.
All right. So you head to the coordinates that Captain Upgrade gave to you, and it is it's a redneck bumblefuck nowhere kind of town, but they're really trying. Like, imagine like a gold rush town from a western, where like they've got like a place to gamble, they've got a place to drink, they've got like a dinky little sheriff's office, but everything's made out of wood and there's no horses, so people gonna have to like walk around or like
there's a fungal horse in the corner, just a statue like of one.
You see some like hover bikes and like a couple of actual like bicycles. It's a weird combination of like they're trying their hardest to make a city, but they just don't have the funds or the material or the money. So as you're like kind of walking through this little town, it's a a nice mix of humans, oons, and chrysalids. You see the occasional droid and the hey.
Oh, hello.
You see the occasional droid. You see a couple of Wrath. You get the impression that most Wrath are probably employed as heavies, because you see like one hanging out at the saloon. You see one hanging out at the gambling establishment, and they're just kind of like parked out front, like scratching their butts and making
I'm like gawking
sure that they
at
have
everything because everything is pretty damn new to me. Just like, oh, I mean, even my companions, I just find myself staring at them a lot, just being like, can I touch your face?
For the last time, no.
Oh, sorry.
Macpac looks at Tom and tries to, per the character's description before, tries to use like the pin art style face to emulate Tom's face. And then you just hear like a little bit of the EQ pins come out and just say, sure, go ahead. And then it lights up a little bit.
Cool.
The pins go in and just like spring back out.
I just push my whole hand in to just see the hand imprint.
It goes,
Like one of those side
and then
center things.
when it goes a little, it flashes red and it starts to heat up when you go a little bit too far.
All right.
All right, so you walk your way through town, and then when you get closer to the outskirts, you see a storefront with like neon light just blazoned ancient Greece, and there's like a landing port out back. There was like 3 landing ports out back, and then just like mountains of scrap.
Well, Mac is definitely interested in the mountains of scrap. If they had
a girlfriend
eyes,
later,
and remembers that they had them, and kind of like has attached them to themselves, and when it does, they kind of integrate, and you start to see pieces in the relevant places, but still like grabs pieces and like holds them up, like the eyes are flashing. Very interested in the junk pile.
So you walk into ancient Greece, and you see like a couple of there's like a pair of hover cars that are up on cinder blocks. You see an old like X-28 fighter that's like half broken open and like the engine's being pulled out.
Whoa.
And you hear like some strange like if there's like an band that is like tearing up the charts with their new song that's just like the sound of all 5 races' heartbeats kind of mashed together in like a funky tune. It's very catchy and also completely soulless. People love it. And as you walk in, you see a Marshmallow who is like working on the broken apart fighter, and when you walk in, there's like a bing boom, and the Marshmallow like turns around. So the Marshmallow looks like he's used a soldering gun to like paint on stubble in the form of a beard. And on the flat part of his head, there's a bite taken out, and then burned into the top of his head is "Do not eat."
What is his name? Is his name like Zeus or something?
I think it's "Do not eat."
So he turns around and he's like, "Hey, new people, welcome to ancient Greece."
Grease lightning. And I give him like the finger guns.
Yeah, with the pop collar.
Beautiful shot.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. I'm Frank Tucker. How can I help y'all?
His name is Frank Tucker.
Frank Tucker.
Oh wow, these like these
I
futuristic
take
names
f-
are really something. Are there? Okay, so I'll try talking to him.
I'll
So
assist.
telepathically, I'm just gonna do this like really quick. I'm just gonna do this like bursts of imagery.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna be like, we met this guy, Captain Upgrade. He's a chrysalid. This is him telling us about you. This is our ship. This is us kind of looking at the ship and being like, ooh. And this is the ship maybe having been in the GA. Like I'll have like a dotted line showing a circle that it may be a GA ship. And then I'm going to show like an eraser being like, wee, 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 wee. And then it's going to be us being like, huh?
And I'll. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You go.
So Frank, you flash all that into Frank's face, and he kind of goes, and then reaches into his little. He's got like a little utility belt with like bags, and pulls out like a small box, and he holds it in the air and presses a button. And the
legitimate
door
salvage
behind you
opportunity.
starts to close behind you so that passersby can't overhear what is being said.
Good thing Vanessa didn't say it.
Oh no.
So awesome. Okay,
It's a good idea.
now we're in the zone.
I suspect that other can like eavesdrop on telepathic communications. Like it's
Yeah.
not like a secure encrypted like SSL, you know,
Yeah.
like
It's kind of, it comes out in like a bubble. You can try to only talk to one person, but most of the time when you are speaking, everyone
Broadcasting.
within earshot can hear it.
okay. So what does he do? after the door
So
closes?
he closes the garage door and he's like, so you got yourselves a hot ship?
It'll do.
And I'm like, "Blink," and it's like lots of coals, like banked coals, like on fire.
Yeah. And I assume it's not here because you walked in.
Correct.
All right. So,
Bling.
how much you got?
We do.
Well, I
Okay.
need somebody.
Of what?
Somebody needs to roll guile here.
I can roll guile and be like, we can make it worth your while. It's a bit of a share on some of the legitimate salvage of this thing that, was just gonna drift off. We'll keep the ship, but we might have a line on some fuel we could part with.
How's the
What's your
roll?
guile roll?
I will roll it now. D10.
Wait, you have a D10?
What?
I think that's how that works. I got 3
You have a
points into it.
Oh, wait. So you have no other
I have 1
personal
point,
skills?
and I get 2 points for human.
No, it's +2.
Oh, it's +2. So it's a
Yes.
what is that? D6 +2 then?
D6 +2.
I did the system wrong. I broke the system,
okay.
guys. I'm sorry.
You get a
All right.
D10 and guile on the second game. I'm like, I hope you don't get into fight because
Oh no, I have very few
D-
fighting skills. Nah, like
In some
I'm just
cases,
like,
a
"Hi."
D6 +2 is way better.
And the way I picture this is my guy is just so naive that it's almost hard to not believe him. Like it's like he's such
it's so
genuine.
sincere.
Yeah, he's
Is
just
there a
like
jukebox he can
What's
bang his
that
fist
like?
against to make it work?
oh. All right, a roll of 5 brings me up to 7 on guile.
Nice.
And then we can maybe talk about mutually beneficial relationships after we're, properly airborne, but at least
You have to see if he
then
wants
we have
to
the
date first.
opportunity.
Yeah, I'm gonna Yeah, I think I grok what you're plopping down there. It is very beneficial that y'all came by at this time, because I may have a proposition for the very soon times. I can clean your ship, and I will do that for free. But I'm just gonna say no. Like, you're not gonna hear my.
Sorry, no, Macpac did not say that. That was me just being no.
I will do that for.
This is like
free.
try an egg all over again.
But there is a ship that is leaving the city soon. And on that ship, there's going to be stuff that I want. If you get the stuff that I want from the ship and give it to me, I'll clean your ship out for free. And I will also be in a better position to help you in the future.
Macpac suddenly realizes that by clean, you did not mean literally go through everything and actually physically clean it, and therefore is much more okay with it.
Now, we might benefit from the ship being at least somewhat, depending on how we go about doing what you need us to do. It might be beneficial if we have a ship, or should we do this, or do you need it done before it's airborne?
Does anybody want to ask what the things are, or should we just not?
No, I want to ask what the things are, because if we're like freeing hostages, like that's awesome. If we're like, I don't know, trafficking organs or something.
There's no money in organs these days.
Everybody's got them.
Okay, let's
Especially
ask
for
what it is.
marshmallow.
All right, so here's the deal. This is a shit move. There is very little worthwhile on it other than the people. So the people gotta pay tax. And we don't have fancy creds. We don't have the just take it from my bank account shit. We gotta have hard credits to pay these taxes. And every couple of months, the guys up in the city just take all the credits and taxes we've given to them, and they fly it away from here. So all you're doing is grabbing a ship full of money that should be here by all rights.
We're just redistributing to its original owners.
And if you bring it to me, then I can get some ships in the repair lot. So if you need upgrades, I can get them. You need gear, I can get it. You need stuff, I can get it. But right now, I ain't got nothing. And he smacks the side of the fighter. This is shit. He looks at I got a floating car that doesn't float. It's shit. I need money.
We agree,
Macpac.
Fred. Your inventory is total shit.
I don't know. That looks pretty cool. Looks like an old
Macpac
Battlestar
actually
Galactica
speaks up
ship.
at this point and gestures to the direction of the junk pile and says, "Is that your pile?"
Yes, it's my pile.
Nice.
Thank you.
And turns to the others and like, "I want to do it."
So I'm interested in this both as a player and as Vanessa. Are the taxes, and perhaps this is something in the game world that we would already know, but are the taxes paid to like the Galactic Alliance command, or are they paid to like a corporation?
They
Yes.
should go to Galactic Alliance. But what happens to them when they leave the person's hands and go into the tax collection pot is varies greatly from station to station.
Hmm.
The closer you are to Galactic Alliance headquarters, the more likely everything is as legitimate as taxes are. And then the further away, it's anyone's game. So like you have no idea where the the tax money is going out here. It
Right.
could be
Yeah.
Well, it's
going
not
like
the
it could be
decor.
going one place, it could be going a different place, it could be going several places.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like it's an isolated moon in an isolated system. So there's a lot of space where it can go without us, without the agency to notice it.
Mm.
And we've already had experiences noting that everything on the GA and the communications, especially the communication, is not what it appears. And it sounds like we're in a late stage economic system, rampant corruption and such. So MacPack, without wanting to divulge more, is totally on board with this because A, junk, and B, it's worthwhile to them.
Yeah, you know what? I'm on board with this plan as well. Because I mean, we have a stolen GA craft, right? Like, in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's steal the tax money.
I think also the risk is low because we're gonna clean the ship after.
Oh yeah, so it'll still be dirty.
We're gonna be. That's maybe the most dangerous part because I suppose the cleaning will be after we've secured the ship, right, Mister Do Not Eat?
We're also gonna have to change the outward appearance. I would imagine, like the color, whatever of the ship.
Yeah, you guys can like if you wanna do your cleaning now, you wanna do it later, that's up to you. If you have some weird plan of pretending to be GA and stopping the ship, or if you want to
actually yes, that is our plan. We will use our legitimate GA ship to appear like an inspection crew.
But as an advance, we will ask Frank. Is it?
Frank Tucker.
Frank Tucker. We will
Very
ask Frank
spacey
Tucker to
Thanks, Tank.
to let us know right now, based on the transponder, the official name of the ship.
Of our ship? Or their ship?
Yes, of our ship.
Yeah,
of our ship, because if we're approaching the GA, they're going to want to ping us. They're going to want our transponder codes. They're going to want, so we're going to have to respond in kind and pass. And one of the things is they'll know our ship name because they know our transponder signal. So as a start, I vote that we do this under like the guise of legit, because that's where we're going, and we can use that on approach, kind of like what the other people did, and at the same time we can use the when we get back, provided we get back, then we can scrub the ship, so whatever it is, we're not known, and we can change like the paint color or whatever.
Bolt on some
transponder
cargo
signal.
bays on the outside, change the profile a little bit, mess up the drive signature.
So you make all these plans with.
Oh, does Frank agree to help us and tell us the name of the ship?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So you walk back to where you left it deposited. You take all of the mushroom boughs off it. You fly it back and park it in one of the spots. Frank lets you know that the ship will probably be leaving sometime in the next 6 or so hours, so you've got a nice chunk of time. It's heading toward the Knotwood Bridge, which is it's a fuel-saving device where basically there is a warp circle that ships fly through and are warped under the bridge's power to the other side of the bridge. So it's great
for slingshots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like a
great for
rail.
Yeah, it's great for going
Yeah.
where the other end is, but not so much for anywhere else. Like it's great for going wherever the ship is going, but you can't go through it and then go somewhere different. So the
Mhm.
ship is heading toward that to get shot toward Galactic Alliance space.
Hey,
Where it is deeper into
Tank.
this.
Unless we have some on our ship, do you have a line on any GA uniforms we could borrow?
We have 2. There
Yeah,
were 2
2.
inside the ship.
Sweet.
Yep. And so that leaves I'm an android, so
Yeah.
that's not really an issue.
Droids don't get
so,
uniforms.
so whom, and I guess so that leaves, these are human style uniforms.
Yeah, so
It's like
Tom
Red
Tom and
and
Philip.
Tom and Philip could wear them, but not Vanessa.
Okay.
That's okay.
And MacPack has no need, so, and that makes sense anyway.
Okay.
All right.
I'll take one. I don't know if it'll be the commanding officer or the private, because I don't know this system, because I woke up like a month ago.
They're all privates.
What is the name of this ship, by the way?
Okay, so Frank pulls out the checker, runs some diagnoses, and okay, it's
I'm watching how he does it, so I can try that another time.
okay. Yeah, it's the Crusader 3.
Oh,
Okay.
What's the name of the campaign again?
The last flight of the Crusader 3.
and so we decided to trade it in for a different ship.
Okay.
And that was its last flight.
And we lived happily ever after, exploring the
Eating
stars in
life.
peace
Eating mushroom trees.
and the occasional
All right.
marshmallow.
So
Yes.
I'm going to say that
With permission.
Now with our
the-
yes.
the time passes, you get everything ready, you're all uniformed up. You take off from the landing pad and blast your way out of the atmosphere. And
Can I? Is there like weapons and stuff that I can just like a sidearm? I'm not trained in it, but
yeah, there's a
Well,
second.
there's an extra blaster, gravitron hammer, and
Mhm.
I think plasma sword.
yeah,
I
so one
think
of each.
I'll grab the disintegration ray.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's what I
Well,
would do.
we're kind of OP on disintegration rays. It might be good to balance that out because that's my skill.
Okay,
And
I'll grab a
that's
plasma
Van's
arc
skill.
sword as well because it looks like a lightsaber. And
Why
we'll
not?
see what happens.
May I roll devices to see if I can scan the ship's logs?
Yes.
5. Keep your
Crit.
graviton hammer.
So that's a 7.
That's a 7.
Okay. You get everything you could want to know about the ship for the past 2 weeks.
Are there audio logs?
Nope. It was just kind of like doors opened, people came on, the replicator started being used for food again. Everything before that time is just wiped clean.
Okay. So no one. Hopefully, the people that we're approaching, if we ever have to speak, hopefully nobody knows the actual captain of this ship. Everything's fine. We're all fine here.
Do we have
How
a
are you?
pilot with us? I still have one pip I haven't locked in.
Uh,
I know it's normally
I've
Bo.
got
I think Bo is the pilot.
And who's our
Yeah.
backup pilot?
It was me, but I switched for EMP, but now we don't have EMP on the ship, so in the end it's...
I'm happy to take whatever, but I have a pip that I haven't really chosen yet.
and there's also an
Piloting might be
autopilot that you can, if you want to turn that on.
I forgot about the autopilot. The autopilot. Explain the rules with the autopilot again.
It's a D8 to pilot, but it like basically fail on a 1 or 2. And we
Yeah, so
have to
basically,
repair it
at the
to work.
beginning of an encounter, someone can use their action to turn on the autopilot and say, do pilot, or do shields, or do warp, and the autopilot will just automatically do pilot or shields or warp until you use another action to change it to something different.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
And it's rolling a D8.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's yeah. So maybe I won't take a Pippin pilot. I still have one to decide, but I don't know. We can do that later.
What are Tom's stats?
Guile, devices, and dodge, and then
Are 6?
just 1 pip each, basically, and then
Okay, so 6.
sensors and repairs for ship stuff. But I don't have a third for ship stuff yet.
Okay, so just thinking of like how to balance out what we're like the party.
Oh, and I can't do warp because it's like well beyond my archaic understanding.
I've got warp, but that's also something that we can sick the autopilot on.
Yeah.
So
I got shield.
And I've got repairs and sensors and antimatter torps, which this ship has none. So in anything I'll be doing in any combat scenario, I'll be doing until we get it upgraded, just sensor and repair.
Okay. I guess I
think we've got a plan.
Yep.
All right, let's fly casual, but don't make it look like we're flying casual. That's weird.
Nice.
All right, so what do y'all want to do? You know where the bridge is. You have an approximate time that the other ship is going to be going through. What's the plan?
I say we can, like, if we're taking something from the ship, we can either, we're on a GA ship with GA markings right now, but we could just try to replicate hopefully kinder version of the
Original crew.
of the original crew, just to get docked. And after that, my vote is, well, we scan the ship, we see what type of people are on board, and then we make a decision from there, because it depends if we're dealing with the people who like want the tax money, or if we're dealing with people who are just the truckers. That should define our next action, I feel. What do y'all think?
Okay,
Yep.
but let's wait for them at the bridge, at the
Ooh, with our
Yeah.
pull it over lights flashing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like attention.
Let's
attention.
like
This is the
park
Crusader.
ourselves like
This is the GEA
blocking it.
Yeah, this is Galactic Alliance Crusader 3. Stand by.
Yeah.
Stop your
Okay.
engines and stand by for inspection.
All right, so you all fly up and do it casual-like and park yourselves in front of the Knotwood Bridge. You're there for maybe half hour, 45 minutes, and you see the ship pull out of the large city, break atmo, and move your way toward it.
Okay. May I roll? Would it be sensors or devices to try to see if I can get like the transponder, but the style of the ship and the name of the ship?
Sensors.
I would want to know what its fighting capabilities are.
4.
With a 4, you know the type of ship. It's a freighter. It's probably about twice the size of your ship. They tend to be pretty well, like with the offensive weaponry, like maybe 1 or 2 lasers, probably not much more, but you never know.
Anyone else have sensors, by the way?
Yeah, I tried sensors, but I only rolled 3. And I'm trying to get a sense of its defense capabilities.
Okay.
I'm trying to get as much knowledge as we can so we can make an announcement to the ship, because we're posing as a GA ship. We are clearly we're trying
I'm ready to hail it.
Yeah, that's my thought, is we hail it, and if we say like attention blah, so do I at least, I figure with a 4 I would know like the ship class, that I'd at least be able to call it the attention class vessel.
Well, you know that it's a freighter based on the shape. It is a should have written some of this stuff down. It is a
Hindenburg class.
It's a refurbished chrysalid ship. It's a grasshopper class. So it's meant for taking a bunch of stuff, moving it a short distance, moving it back again.
Okay.
With your 3 for the sensors, you can kind of get the impression that they probably have a laser. They might have something else. You can't really tell. And then it's standard ship stuff from there.
Something that we probably would know in the universe is these micron or these credits. Do they have a physical form? Like, are they in a box, like a strong box that we could move, or are they like some kind of electronic or whatever?
They're both. Like the closer you are to Galactic Center, almost everyone just has like a credit card that lists like all of their credits, and people use that. Whereas the further out from center you go, people have to actually carry physical credits, which are like coin-sized pieces
USB
of
key?
metal.
USB key.
Not quite a USB, but it's like a physical thing that has a specific
Oh god,
value.
it's actual thumbs.
So it will be coming in like a big box that the strongers of you will be able to drag onto your ship.
All right,
Okay.
well, let's get this party started. I'm gonna hail them.
Okay.
You could have seen the flasher is not turning on.
Tell them that there are pirates in the area and that we've been tasked with protecting the delivery.
Nice.
I was
attention.
gonna, but that wouldn't let us exactly. That wouldn't really make sense as to why we were boarding them.
So they need to transfer. We'll say we need to transfer the cargo to our own cargo bay.
Okay.
I mean, don't actually put it in a room with that friggin' gate door thing. But you know, get it
It
aboard.
ate our money. All right, so we jump on the horn and do a. All right, transponder ship G7842. Please submit for scan and further questioning. I saw it in a movie once.
What's your guile roll?
I rolled a 6, so that's a total of 8.
Okay.
This is the Crusader 3 Galactic Alliance patrol vessel. We require docking and administrative tasks. You know the deal.
Okay. Wasn't really expecting that. We just left an outpost. I wasn't expecting to get further.
Pull it over for safety, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I'm pulling over right now. And kind of slides over and pulls to a stop.
I turn off the microphone and then I'm like, great, guys. Now, how do we get our ship to connect to theirs? Oh, somebody hit the autopilot.
So let's begin docking procedures. Is it an umbilical that we extend?
Yeah.
Okay. So extend. They're
All right,
pulling
so
over. I take it so we can
you
pull over
maneuver
alongside and
into
link.
position. Basically, they're facing this way. You kind of come up this way. You get your ship to ships to link up, and you are now connected.
Excellent. Okay, so what weapons we got again? So 2 disintegration rays. We've got Tom double fisting. Seems like.
I was gonna bring a plasma arc sword and a
Okay.
and a disintegration ray, neither of which I can use.
Well, D4 is D4.
Well,
The key is finding the guy who's not able to defend against your attack.
So when we're getting in here, I don't
but
know
I get
if
to
it'll
walk
become
around
relevant.
feeling
I'm
like
just
Luke
wanting
Skywalker.
mention it beforehand so you know it's not opportunistic. That one of the things I did describe was being able to detach little pieces of myself to sort of send scouting.
Philip, who has the phase transponder?
It would be Bo that is in the medic bay right now. So I don't know
Good
what
answer.
the range is. Like
It
I
is-
don't know how it works.
It is not that far. One of these three people got to have it with them.
Okay, I guess I should put the transponder on. Well, who wants to keep it?
I can keep it.
Okay, so we'll put it in the.
I don't know what that is.
medicine bar.
It disappears into a mound of tentacles, and you don't want to know where it is.
Just for
But
the
it's
fact
safe.
I'm actually here, but not here. Like the transponder is like flashing, and like when I press on a button, I'm flashing at the same time as the button.
Ooh.
All right, so
I keep this uncomfortable hunk of metal. Anyway.
So you've hooked your ship to ship together, and what do you want to do?
So I will
Um,
just pick up the graviton hammer, and I will use the same technique the Raph was using. So just
Well-
because I'm a little bit tall, it just looks like imposing beside Todd
Huh?
with my green suspenders and GA suit on top.
I think we should probably
Let-
all go
funny.
in case we get ideas.
Let-
Also, safety in numbers.
Mhm.
We don't have. Well, I guess the nappers may be able to salvage
Bo
the
and-
ship if all goes wrong.
No.
So
we got names.
it makes sense that we'd all go, because regardless, they can. Let's not ask what the two are doing. The just make sure the replicator's charged. But I would say we all go, but let's not go in guns blazing right away. Let's at least try to assess the situation to see what's inside first.
And Tom might be able to just guile us, like just be
That's
like.
what I'm gonna try. Walking.
I
All right.
depending
I'm gonna need
on
to
what it
see
is,
inspection
what I was-
papers.
well
We've had reports
beforehand,
of pirates in the area.
and also if we find that there are people that might not care and we have to get hostile, we could remind them that what we're after is not theirs anyway. They're not losing out if we take this. We can shoot them in the leg if you want, clean blow, damage the ship a little bit so it makes it look like you were a little attacked. Just give us what we want.
Give them a
We're
little
gonna
bit of
call
money.
that Plan Chimera.
That makes
But in the
sense.
meantime, let's just get on board. Cycle
Can
the
even
airlock.
we could
All
even bribe them with fuel if we need.
Fuel.
I'd be like, you can get out of here like nothing happened.
All right, so you head to the ship-to-ship airlock, and you open the doors, and waiting to greet you are two chrysalids. They're both about 3 feet tall, like they're brown and weevely. Both of them have like disintegration rays in holsters around their middle carapace area. When the door opens up, the first one kind of looks at Tom, who I'm guessing is in front, and oh yeah, where's your captain?
He's on his down cycle. We got the night shift. We're in from Delta Sector.
So what do you need to see?
Well, we've had a lot of issues with piracy been reported, so we're doing some spot inspections.
While doing that, am I able to detach those, or should we wait to discuss the mechanics of that at a later time? And for now, that
I
should be
wanted
suspended?
to, if you want to have like the ability to create little walking around biddies, I might need some time to think about how that works.
Okay.
Yeah.
I stated that. Wait. I said, MacPack EQ can interface with almost any port wireless connection and can detach to constituent parts to scout, distract, escape, but detached portions have no combat ability.
That's kind of like the Zoan
Yeah,
clone.
it's basically the zone thing.
Hmm.
But the zone allows you only to make one miniature at a time.
Hmm.
That makes sense, especially at base. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd have to think about that because, like, letting you do that essentially gives you like 2 special powers. Like, you have the I am a robot and I can do things power, but then also I can do the same thing that a Zoan can do.
Well, for the
So-
fair bits, I am a robot. You're right. I can attach points to myself. This was in my original submission, right?
I do not remember.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, yeah. I guess we'll suspend that and reserve that for later.
Can I, now that I'm aboard the ship, can I use my telepathy to determine if there are any other crew aboard or if it's just these 2 chrysalid?
Yes, you can.
I
And I'm
rolled
just
6.
verbal diarrhea, corporate speak.
So as Tom is talking, Vanessa gives the psychic looking for people, and yeah, there's over 200 people here.
Okay, we're not gonna blow up this ship.
No, we're definitely not going to blow up this ship. That's the point.
I'm gonna like just telepathically like show everybody on our team that there's like 200 people. For a second, it's like that scene in several of the X-Men movies where it's just like Cerebro just being like, oh, lots of people around. And you kind of like zoom in on some of them, like their chrysalids kind of like standing around a water cooler being like, clickety, 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 clickety. And like, I don't know, Wrath, like...
So I'm going to point out that this ship is not big enough to need a crew of 200.
So I feel like there are passengers,
Civilians.
or there are
It's either
infantry.
smuggling or illicit
troop
passenger.
transport.
I mean,
as
people
well,
getting
could
off this
be.
rock, I could understand.
Yeah, let's hope that's that, because that's something that they'll be fine with us, I'm pretty sure, if we
the
talk to
roll
them.
of 6,
But let's hope they're not military and 200 military.
with the roll of 6, can I get a little bit of sense as to like the affect of these people? Like, are they all like cowering in terror?
Yeah, a lot of them are like scared and unhappy and miserable and full of dread.
Shh. All that stuff?
Yeah,
Oof.
it's
Okay.
like it's overwhelming. It's like, whoa.
Okay, so I'm
So
gonna ping like the equivalent of like let's bust a move or like rock and roll or something to everybody else, but it doesn't translate. Like the like telepathic pictorial language, like it doesn't really make sense. But you get the idea that like
I feel
I'm
like
saying we gotta do something about this. Like there's another mission here. There's like a bigger mission here probably.
yeah, I feel like even MacPack could get the emotional effect of that, because that's what you're transferring right there, and I would imagine it's stunning.
All right,
I'm
so what do you
wondering
all
if
want
we
to do?
can. I'm wondering if we can keep stalling for another round, for another roll. If we can like try to talk to them and distract them, just to specifically get the intent of, we know that the chrysalids here are not the ones afraid. It would be worthwhile to find.
I want to
out,
find out how many
see if we
crew.
can find out more about them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crew,
Okay.
because those are the people that we might have to kill. Clearly, the scared and frightened people. No,
No,
we're gonna
we're
try to
keeping
save them.
Them. All right, I'm gonna
All right.
just kind of verbal diarrhea, like, oh man, the ration packs that we get. I hope you guys have better stuff out here. But what I would give for a good cup
MacPack
of
interrupts
coffee.
and tries to be like as a like servile droid. Sir, remember that we need to remind them of what they're carrying.
Right. I'm gonna need some manifests. Yeah, there was reports of pirates, like basically jumped up hoppers and like, you know, barely flying old fighters like the old T-187.
Yeah, I've had tussle with a couple of them. Yeah, I'll get
Those
the
things
manifest.
are barely space worthy.
So one of the
They do
chrysalids
look
like
cool.
wanders off toward the bridge.
My
And
guile,
the,
if I'm rolling guile, is still a 7.
And there's like the one who's kind of left there, just like looking at y'all.
Somebody should go with the person going off to the. Oh man, I can't detach something.
I don't know. With a guile 7 roll, I'm feeling pretty confident. I think we should just sit tight.
Well, the person's
Like, if
going
he
off to the
rolled a
bridge to
guile-
get the manifest.
Yeah, but
have
like
to
if
deal
he
with them
rolled, like, a
later. They're-
4,
Now,
Okay.
if they...
you know,
Can I telepathically talk back to Vanessa or no? Okay. I'm just going to look at you guys and be like, if it is, like, try to send the image so hard that my nose starts to bleed. Of,
Yeah,
like,
I think you can think real hard and hope for the best.
Do I have to roll to understand him? I think actually under the rules, I can only do this with species that have like brains. Like
Yeah, organic is human, I think.
yeah, like I think they have
Yeah, I
to be
think it's like
organic.
you can telepathically speak, but you can't like send a thought like a kilometer away into a droid. It's like that. Like the far distance talking is only to non-AI.
Oh, okay. All right.
And
So
and
I'm going to try to
and I'll-
think at Vanessa. If you're reading my mind right now,
Panties, panties,
First of
panties,
all-
panties, panties, panties.
very cool and sorry about the visuals. Secondly, I spent a lot of time in my bunk. Anyway, that's besides the point. If this is a human smuggling, or sorry, old term, being smuggling operation, they're not going to appreciate that we're pulling them over. So they're going to attack us.
that, and also as a reminder, the whole reason why we stalled for another round is so Vanessa can try to read the chrysalids and get an
Oh.
idea of the crew.
Right.
That's why we did it.
I rolled another 6. These are going to be totally wasted crits.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you are able to siphon away the fear and the anger and the disappointment, and you are left with 4 distinct thought patterns
Mhm.
that are not part of that.
So I'm going to convey, if I can, to everyone that to like our people here that we should really attack this guy, this one chrysalid standing here, because their entire like enemy crew are 4, and it'd be better to pick them off one at a time. And so the image that you receive is one of picking berries, but picking berries is not the same on Omicron, which is the like water world of the Oon. Like they have like kelp forests where there are like berries that want to float up, and you have to like pick them before they float away. So like it makes no sense, this metaphor. So you're all just like, what?
And then you shoot a guy in the face.
I equated it to a chicken having its head like neck broken, or actually specifically Alien versus Predator, where the little one was caught and just.
All right. So right
but
now,
yeah, let's go. Let's hit this thing.
I'm just. What about we just say, look, we know about your illegal
No,
cargo.
I think we should kill them. They're harboring.
Give us your
human
legal
trafficking.
cargo, and we silence. We never met them.
We could try non-lethal, and then we have options later.
Can we set our disintegration raise to stun? Is there like a stunning amount of disintegration someone can
No.
suffer?
you can try to disintegrate their legs and stuff.
You know what? MacPack has a specific thing about being trafficked and, being industrialized and used as tools. It's kind of why they're here. So they just get the ball rolling and attack.
Yeah.
All right, so the
Vanessa's
order
also pretty chaotic good. I gotta use the facilities, but I'll be back, so try not to die.
Okay. So right now the order that I have is Tom, MacPack, Vanessa, Philip. Do you want to change the order around?
Depends, Tom, what you're doing, because MacPack has been incensed
You
and wants to attack.
You want to go first, so I'll just be. You can bump ahead of me.
Okay.
I guess while you're talking, I'll do the whole. Yeah, while you're still talking, realizing everything.
Actually, can I give some kind of assist by being like, "Oh my God, it's gotten loose! Lock it down!" Like I'll do that whole thing. Like, "Oh no!"
Roll me a guile and.
I'm using my brand new dice that I picked up at Breakout Con in Toronto. So shout out to that. And I rolled a 4, so that's a total of 6.
Still pretty good, yeah. The crystal is like, what? And looks away, so whoever wants to can get an attack with no defense.
I also rolled a 4. And I was the one that said that I was going to go. And yeah, I figured while they were still talking is when I went.
Okay, so you didn't fumble the attack. You hit it with whatever you're using.
A disintegration ray.
Okay.
That's my only weapon.
All right, so just out of nowhere, he's looking away, and you fire a pinprick of disintegration. It goes like through its carapace chest and out the back. It's like having a needle just go through your lung, and then your skin kind of collapses around where that would have been, and he's very surprised. All right, Vanessa.
Okay, great. So I just returned. What is happening? We're in full brawl now, I take it.
Backpack shot a guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom distracted.
Well, I will target the same guy. Like, was there some kind of speech or anything, or just shooting?
Just shooting.
We realized
okay,
that they were human trafficking, and they were scared, and they were the MacPack does not like that. And so during distraction, we shot them. There are 4 crew, and as you said, we're picking them off.
There's only one of them right now.
So Vanessa has a very difficult time with this pistol because it's built for somebody who has like hands. So she's using like some tentacles to try and like kind of like hold it. Like, think about a bunch of garden hoses trying to like hold something and pull a trigger. Like, it's very difficult. It doesn't make a lot of sense to her. I mean, she's quite dexterous, but like this is clearly not designed for like an Oon in like a containment suit. But still, she manages to roll a 4. So she's kind of holding the pistol upside down and like trying to strangle the trigger.
All right, so
this is the round of 4s.
Go to coin toss. All right, the chrysalid is having a very lucky day and manages to like just get out of the way of that incineration. All right, Philip.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Can I try to immobilize it? Something?
Yeah.
What kind of role would it be? Like, I just kind of. I took the graviton hammer and I'm just trying to
break a couple legs.
And it's a 4.
Okay, so it tries to jump out of the way of that. Okay, tie goes to toss. Ooh, not as lucky that time. So the graviton hammer kind of sweeps downward, and as Philip is getting close to like the little spindly legs, just cranks it up from 1 to 17, and you just hear like just knees a popping as the swing goes through, and the chrysalid hits the ground on its back and just like screams and hisses like like one of those hissing cockroach things.
Mm.
All right, so you have taken out the first of the crew. What do you want to do now?
How many are there in this encounter space? Like, do we see another chrysalid in the room too?
You know that one of them walked away toward the bridge, and that was to the right of where you are, but you don't know where the rest of them are. Presumably, most of them are on the bridge, but some of them might be in the hold as well.
Well, I might do that thing where it's like, you try and do that hand signal for like fan out, where you do like the fist and then you like point. But
you have so many fingers, I can't tell what you're saying.
Can't really understand. Like, almost makes like a very large ball of string with all the tentacles, and then kind of like points with it. Anyway, let's all go. Let's all head towards where we think that other guy is.
I'm gonna drag the body of this chrysalis back onto our ship.
Okay.
And out of sight.
Attach it somewhere. Yeah, attach him somewhere.
That's a good idea. It all happened really quick. It was a 1-round kill, so and sounds good.
Okay, so Tom is dragging this poor legless chrysalid back onto the fruit bat, and the other three of you.
While I'm doing that, I'm taking any weapon that it has, just in case it's just unconscious.
Okay, yeah, you get a disintegration ray.
I'll tuck it in the belt.
You never have enough of those.
All right, so you start heading toward the bridge, and you see like a long corridor, and there is a blast door, and you kind of see a chrysalid like peek out and then pop its head back in when it sees you turn a corner.
What if somebody uses a guile roll to try to cause that person to surrender?
I'm assuming I'm busy.
Captain Tom.
Does anyone else of you have guile?
No.
I
D4.
could.
Vanessa could like telepathically imprint the idea of surrender at a guile -1.
I'd be rolling a D4 -1.
Okay, in this case, like, I guess I could just say like,
I'm gonna try to roll it. Let's see, D4. See if it goes. 2.
she's not critical miss.
So, well, it's not critical miss. So I guess I try to repeat like in a very like Android, like attention civilian type thing. Attention chrysalid crew. You are under suspect of you and your ship are under suspect of contraband. Stand by for inspection with the GA.
They're lying! They're gonna kill us all! Alright, Vanessa, what do you want to do?
We didn't even really establish whether these people were knowingly trafficking, like
200 people on a ship that's not meant to hold 200 people.
Well, what do they know? They could be in shipping containers, right? We don't even know. They're saying, they're gonna kill us all because we killed.
Were you here? Well, yeah, but there was the whole like, they were all terrified of like, what's gonna happen to us where we're going? This is like a Schindler's List wagon.
Yeah. I just can I like mind read these guys? Can I spend my entire turn and roll my telepathy to try to mind read these guys to see whether they're like knowingly like slave trafficking, or whether they're like, help us, we're just shipping grain. Okay, roll the 5.
You overhear one of the chrysalids thinking, like, shit, I hope they're not here for the prisoners.
Okay. Prisoners, eh? Ugh. I wonder if the prisoner's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'll ever be able to eat human flesh again. I'm so terrified and sad.
I'm not sure if this is a reflection of Vanessa's paranoia or the GM's tendency to put us into situations where we realize we were the bad guys all along.
Hey, fool me once. Shame on
fool me
you.
every time.
Right?
Well, I promise you, this time, you're probably not monsters.
Okay,
Hey, we're the good guys.
Let's keep blaring.
Yeah.
Let's keep blaring like surrender and you will not be harmed. Like surrender and you will not be harmed. And
Submit for aggressive inspection.
Yeah.
All right, Philip,
Mac
do anything?
hears that and sighs a little bit and just like diverts a corner of the pin art head to start just like broadcasting that. Only it just becomes more like surrender and you won't be harmed, because it's, you know, the rest of my face still has to do something.
Oh, you've got like an extra mouth on your forehead. That's weird.
No,
Or speaker.
I'm a droid. It's a box of pin art that moves, and
Nice.
that's where everything comes out of. That's why you were able to mash my face into it.
It was fun.
Your hand
I
into my
appreciate that.
face, Captain Tom.
All right, Philip, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm gonna walk toward the door because I was with Vanessa, because she's the one that has the transponder. I must be close. We'll go close to the door, and I will be like, I will just get my capish out and get ready to just saw the door and say like, look, just give us the money and we leave the ship without anything else. We leave with the money and that's it. No further inspection will be needed.
Keeping the guise of inspection. All right. Yeah, the response to that is the 2 chrysalids that are in the cockpit are going to fire their disintegration rays at Philip.
Is it too late to dodge?
You can still dodge. So that's a 4 to hit and a 6 to hit. And neither of those phase through you.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, because there's always a chance of. Well,
yeah,
I guess I will try to do the one jump that dodged the 2 of them. It's 3, so
that's a hit.
That's a hit. And 4, but I think the 4 one would be against the 6, I guess.
Yep. So that's 2 hits.
The 2 hit, but it's dodge, so
yeah,
it's
so you
just
get 2 damage instead of killing you. All right. And at that point, you also hear servos, and you turn around, and there is a droid on 4 wheels coming up from behind, and it's got a graviton hammer.
Oh fuck!
All right, PCs go. Tom, you are putting the unconscious chrysalid somewhere into your ship.
Once I hear the blasting, I'll just drop him where he is, and run back towards the airlock.
Okay, you can get back by the end of the round.
I'll pull out my disintegration ray and hope. Actually, I'll just take the one he had, and I'll try to while I'm running, I'm trying to figure out how to turn the safety off.
Yeah, it's not designed for human hands, so
Oh, I'll
you don't
just
even
drop
know
it
if
and
there
use
is a
mine then.
safety.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this the safety? Oh, yep. Okay, good. As I accidentally
Oh, the
blast
safety's
the
been
wall.
off this whole time.
I am
All
almost
right,
nutless.
backpack.
Well, droid coming with a graviton hammer versus chrysalids.
Mm-hmm.
2 chrysalids now. Shame.
I have
All right.
I have D6 in armor, so I should fight the thing that's got the gravitron, or I should block it, basically.
Okay. So I'll go for the chrysalids, I guess, again.
Okay.
I'm also thinking though, that droid would be weak against dodge. So because it's on treadmills, my guess is it doesn't have dodge.
Yeah, so you should shoot it.
Exactly. So I'm gonna do that instead.
Or maybe it's a droid like in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and you just like lift off.
Well, we're about to find out. No, we're not. So yeah. So it's like I was going to go shoot and then heard the clink 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 and went and just like sprayed into the wall halfway through. Starts finicking with it.
There is a pinprick to space that
I thought there is a chance that if you crit fail on a disintegration ray roll, that the gun disintegrates. A la Donald, not Donald Duck, Daffy Duck.
Well, we have
Dodgers.
spares.
It does not disintegrate.
Okay.
All right, Vanessa.
Yeah, Duck Dodgers. That's what I'm thinking.
Duck Dodgers in the 31st and a half century.
Wow, that is a
Yeah.
deep pull.
Yeah. I'm also going to try to use my my raise against the droid. 3.
It's better than I did.
Ooh. Nope. It tries to like move some armor into the way of the blast and ends up just taking it right to some important looking stuff.
But it's not
Good
dropped.
start.
No.
Okay. Then I'm going to basically like pulse toward it and try to sort of like almost linebacker style, just kind of like stand between this droid and the rest of the battle.
All right. Philip.
Philip is like, that's it. Gonna just charge with like take the hammer in the other hand and just charge one of the chrysalid with the hammer.
Nice.
Grab it and hammer. It's a 3.
Ooh. Ooh, that's a tie and a win for you. So you rush into the cockpit and raise the graviton hammer one-fisted and just smash it down on top of one of these poor bugs' heads.
By grab Thor's hammer.
All right, so the 2 chrysalids in the cockpit are going to shoot at Philip because he's right the fuck there with a 5 to hit.
Oh shit.
Or that's the maximum because I have just a D4 and dodge.
And a 2 to hit.
A 3.
All right, so that's 1 damage.
And did you roll for the phase?
I did.
Yeah. Okay, so Philip's got to you got to get out of firing range. Like someone's got to like jump into that like cockpit with like a plasma sword or something and prevent these guys from shooting at Philip anymore.
I'm coming, guys.
While
I'm
you are
coming.
doing that, the droid is trying to crush the dome on Vanessa with a 6.
Okay, so I
Oh,
6. Jeez. So I'm gonna roll my armor. I've got a d6. The way I'm gonna do this RP wise is that because she's kind of floaty and she's got a pretty heavy this is like clear aluminum. That's her armor. But the skill is that like when she gets hit, she'll actually just kind of like either bounce or just drift. Right? So like it absorbs most of the it's not like she's being crushed against something, she's just drifting.
Yeah. I approve of that.
Fail.
That's 2 damage. Nope, that's 1 damage.
1 damage. Now, did we start off this encounter full?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And this is 1, 2. All right. And from the area where the droid came, you are now seeing also a human running up to join in the fray as well. And as he's running, he's pulling out a plasma sword.
Shit.
He's got like blue tattoos all over his face. Looks like circuitry, but not.
Oh, that is so cool.
Thanks. All right, Tom has joined the fray. So
I'm gonna
Tom
turn
is kind
on
of
my
like
plasma
in
sword.
between. Ooh.
Whoa!
So
Holy shit!
You said it's all blue paint, but it's in circuits.
It looks like circuits.
So it's like, wow.
So you
It's
guys,
like William Wallace or Programmer McLeod of the Clon McLeod.
Yeah, I'm just like,
So-
holy crap. So I'm gonna
so
try to.
Tom's gotta like take out one of those chrysalids.
Yeah, I'm gonna run in and slash at a chrysalid, not the guy with the light sword. Although I'm really looking forward to dueling with him, but I want to murder one of these chrysalids first. Oh,
So
hold
you're
on.
joining
Let
Philip
me
in the
just
cockpit.
try this out. And I'll swing at one of the chrysalids with my mighty D4. How do I read this thing? That's a 2.
Describe it.
God damn.
Just the top of the chair that he was hiding behind is gone, and anything that he was his head. I was like, holy crap, this is awesome.
You don't even know how to use it either.
Yeah. And then just look at the guy and I'm like, yeah.
It's like,
and I'll
I'm keeping
do
this.
a swirl to like whip it around like a Jedi I've seen. And can I just roll for flourish and just see what happens? Oh my
You're gonna
god,
hit me.
that's a 4. I was hoping for a 1 actually, but that's a 4. So I catch it.
There is the moment where you realize that you were so this is the top part with the hole in it, but
Yeah.
for a while you were holding it like this,
Yeah.
and at the last second you like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put it where the hole is. You could have just turned it on directly into your face.
Yeah. So I'm just like
All right, Mac back.
pretending I'm a Jedi. Totally skillless.
Okay, MacPack's still, I guess, kind of being like crap and still on the movement of like trying to position toward the droid. And rolls a 5.
It's a good roll. It's a good roll. Describe it.
No, perfect.
Is specifically because this is all in like a fluid motion between like the and then crap and then repositioning. This tentacle arm is still just in movement, and it almost slices right through the top of its sensory area and just
Blurb.
and not quite through, but enough that you can see like, and when it bends, it starts to bend over almost like a ship breaking apart as it falls into the ocean.
All right, Vanessa.
So I'm really not well equipped to fight against this guy with the plasma arc sword because I don't have any deflect ability. Not only do I only have the D4, but I don't have a gravitron hammer or a plasma blade. So I don't even think I can use deflect.
Switch with me.
GM, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Wait,
have to
do you need a
not-
weapon to be able to deflect?
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to have either a plasma weapon or a gravitron weapon. So in other words,
Interesting.
I need to get away from that guy with the plasma. Now there's one more chrysalid in the cockpit, right?
Mhm.
And has he taken any damage yet?
Nope.
Sounds good. Let's
Well.
fall back towards the cockpit, and then we
Yeah,
can
so I'm-
regroup there and take out the human.
I'm going to fire at the human as I am like trying to retreat backwards.
Sure.
1. Does my disintegration pistol disintegrate?
Or
Yes,
do you
it
hit
does.
the airlock?
Yeah, you
Like-
pull out the and like you get ready to fire, and then it just starts to like fizzle and then turn to dust in your tentacles.
and I'm like, it's like crumbs. Okay.
Anybody got one of them
backwards.
extra disintegration ways?
There's one laying in the cockpit when that dead chrysalid.
Well, I'm going for it.
All right,
I'm
Philip.
I'm like pumping away as fast as I can.
Philip, what's your plan?
I'm gonna use the sword and the chrysalid that is beside me,
Okay.
and it's 5.
Oh,
Oh, the hammer?
No,
It's the sword.
sword.
Oh, the sword.
Yeah, it tries to like jump out of the way, and you like slash at it and like knock off one of its arms and cut through one of the chairs.
My God,
I was
these
like,
things are
holy
amazing.
shit!
Why doesn't everyone carry one of these?
Alright, so the chrysalid is gonna fire a disintegration blast at Philip with a
And-
2, and it goes right through him.
oh.
That was
Phew.
lucky.
As Philip has
That's why
only
they're
like
called phase hippos.
1 HP left,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very suppose.
Alright.
You can't fall back from the cockpit.
So the human with the plasma sword is gonna go after Mac with a 4 to hit.
The human's the last one, right?
There's a human and a wounded chrysalid.
Oh, okay.
I cannot use deflect, I guess, because I do not have a blade.
Yes,
I'm
you can deflect with your
Standing
body.
right there. Could you get behind me?
Okay,
can roll
well, I'll
dodge.
try to deflect with my body because
Or
that's
whatever
plasma.
Highest.
You said 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So deflect against plasma blade, right?
Like, but
When I'm saying you're going to be using your body, I mean like he's going to be attacking you, and you will be like putting your body in the way.
Yeah.
Right.
So in other words, it's not
But if
gonna
I
work.
roll and fail against deflect, it's better than if I roll and fail against dodge, correct?
Theoretically, yes, but you need to have the actual piece of
sword.
equipment.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
I
you
have-
can't. Yeah, you can't actually use deflect without
Okay,
a
so
thing to deflect with.
okay, so in other words, yes, I'll go for dodge.
Okay.
Then. Hey, 5!
Hey.
Yay.
nice.
All right. Top of the round, Tom.
Finish
This-
him.
Is my dream. Wait, do I go after the guy with the plasma sword or do I go after the chrysalis? I'll go after the
Next
I'll
to
go after the
think-
human. I'm gonna
No,
run at
no,
the guy
you're-
with the lightsaber.
So have we all congregated in the cockpit now and we're fighting all? Because I thought like the cockpit section and the others were a little bit split.
Yeah, I
Have
think
we
like
got
everyone
it
is
now?
kind of
spread
all mashed up into the cockpit now. So you can attack the chrysalid, or you can push past them and go after
I'm gonna push past them and go. I'm in the middle of a lightsaber battle because I have dreamed
Okay.
about this my entire 3,000-year-old life.
Only a master of evil does.
Or, oh my God, you've seen it too! And then I'll swing at him, confident in my glory. And I rolled a 2.
He is shocked by your confidence, and manages to only partially block it away.
You do less damage when someone is able to use the deflect skill, right? Still,
it looked cool.
it looks
yeah,
cool.
I'm super
And you'll be
happy.
able to deflect his attacks, so it's great.
That's why I went at him.
So that means
Because I can
Yeah.
that
keep
means
him
one
off you
damage,
guys.
right?
Yeah.
All right, Macpac.
MacPack is well, it's kind of worked well on the chrysalids before. I'm trying to figure out whom needs to be attacked. Let's go with the chrysalid because I think they're already wounded.
Yep.
Yes.
They were sliced partially by the oh wow, this is a funky blade type thing.
Yep.
That's a 2.
That beats the one I rolled. So
Wow.
it tries to dodge out of the way as you're pointing the disintegration ray, and it accidentally steps like face first into the shot, and you just bloop, and a little hole appears like right between it. I guess, well, its eyes, compound eyes, like right in between, and it
Nice.
looks very surprised, and then dies.
Its head just.
Vanessa.
This human with the plasma blade has only taken 1 damage, I think.
Mhm.
Do I have a clear shot, even though Tom is there, like lightsaber battling?
Yeah, I'm gonna say as long as you don't roll a 1.
I'm rolling a d4, so
Yeah.
I rolled a 4.
Hey.
Nice.
Right, like she's figuring out how to like hold it upright. No, I had to scoop so I had to use my miner to like scoop that one disintegration pistol off the ground,
Mhm.
so that like she could use it.
So the guy tries to parry the blast away and then gets hit in like the love handle.
Oh,
All right, Philip.
So there's just the guy left.
Yep.
rush him!
Well,
We
Yeah,
can
I
maybe
would
make
rush
He's
him
him.
taken
in.
2 damage.
with the hammer, I tried to surrender and it didn't work. So
The hammer
try
needed
with the
that
hammer,
anyway.
the D4,
Slam
and it's a
down
4.
Oh, tie. Goes to coin toss. Describe it.
Nice.
I used the hammer to knock away the sword from his hand, and I like this, and then I swing back the hammer and dislocate his jaw. But the grab the hammer, just
Oh. All right. And that is the last of the crew. So now you have a second ship,
Yay!
starting your armada.
Yeah,
Why
this one
don't
is
we
filled
check on the
Let's check the
prisoners.
computer registry, and I'm gonna go find the computer and see where they came from.
Okay. Well, let me do that because I've got
Yeah,
devices +1.
Oh yeah.
Plus, you're
And-
also a
and-
droid.
yeah, and as
Yeah,
a droid, you could be
You can
like,
just kind of
and like stick that little key thing into like the little node.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is
God.
part.
whoa!
I
This
did
is
say it can
weirdly.
interface with almost any port.
Yeah.
and I will try to find the biggest
And yes, they love it.
band-aid, the biggest band-aid to fill up the like quarter hole I have from the disintegration rays.
Yes.
I feel like at least Vanessa and Tom are, if they're around looking at me interface with the computer, it's like I light up purple and all of the pins just start moving in rapid motion in ever increasing aspects, and
what
then when
am I
solved just
seeing
like does
right
a
now?
big and then retracts back to normal.
All right. So Vanessa and Tom head down to the hold area, where they find just like rows and rows and rows of humans and chrysalids and oons, and they're all just kind of like sitting on benches with manacles that are attaching them like to their hands or tentacles, and then to the floor so that they can't get up. And each
I have
of
this
them.
image of I just had this image of them being forced to row, like there's actually
In a
oars
spaceship
sticking
for
out.
no
and
other
they're, like,
reason.
trying to row in this
how we
like,
save
no
on fuel.
atmosphere.
You're right.
That's just
Um,
ultra cruel. It keeps them occupied. It's our fitness program. It recharges my cell phone with the dynamo.
And
They say, they say that it's charging the fusion generator, but in reality, it just charges everybody's cell
busy
phones.
works.
Yeah.
MacPack hacks into. Give me your D6 for your connect roll.
That's a 3 + 1.
So the special droid power is just a D6.
Yeah, which is a. Oh, well, I thought it's not devices.
Correct. So like you have like a special droid power of like learning stuff from computers.
Okay, but that's a D6.
So that's a
Well,
3.
I rolled it. I rolled a 3.
Great. So you learn that this ship it is a prisoner transport. It is taking a collection of prisoners from Knotwood, and they are being brought to a either a work camp or training center to be put off into the front lines of the Alliance's war with I forgot the Night Terror.
Mhm.
So what? Okay, so the do we know what they're prisoners for? Like why they're prisoners?
I'm going to say that Philip, as he's looking for a big band-aid, comes across the manifest, which has like a list of all of the prisoners, and like you're just giving a quick scroll through.
Jaywalking, littering.
Most of them are tax evasion.
Poor people.
Okay. Yeah.
Speaking
So,
of
like-
which, I'm gonna go looking for the money.
So yeah, like tax evasion, theft,
Appearing in public
assault.
without a hat.
There's also a fair chunk of resisting arrest and assault on a Galactic Alliance officer.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So-
unbutton my vest.
Yeah, we need somebody to like.
Yeah,
We need
let's
somebody
let
to,
the
like,
humans
make them
take
be
off the
offer.
uniforms after this. Is it understood that we are able to communicate all of this information to each other?
Oh,
Yes.
somebody can ask me, aren't I a little short for a galactic alliance officer? I'm waiting for that.
Galactic pirate captain. I mean, you could waltz in there with your like fists on your hips and be like, "We."
My name is Tom
slaughtered the people
Skywalker.
who
I'm here to
gave
rescue you.
Yeah, or like join us and be pirates with us, or we'll
No,
put you
that's
back
the
in
opposite side
like,
of the story.
We'll put you back in Knotwood, and then we have like maybe the ones who decide to join us will be like 20 or 50 PCs or
If
something,
we can
like NPCs.
If we can find the money, I say we turn the ship over to the people and they can go wherever they want.
That's my thought too, because
We'll give
we're
them some
talking about
fuel.
these people. Are we able to get an idea now for like what the ship's capabilities are?
It's a transport ship. It's
Okay.
let's see, it's got a single laser turret. It's got an EMP cannon, and then everything else is pretty standard. Like
Does it have a neutrino cannon?
It does not.
But it's got.
Is there any way we could
it's got an
detach
EMP.
their stuff and put it on our ship?
Yeah.
Cannibalize it.
Well, let's not cannibalize it
Not
entirely.
yet.
We still want to give it to these people, and that's the idea.
Keep in mind that this ship
It'll be
has a
tracked.
crew of 5, and there's
And they're
200
dead.
of them.
Yep. But the idea is if we can either take care of it, like try to take care of this entire problem, or we can give them the freedom, give them the ship, and say, "Hey, it's all you." Give them the keys, which is both more convenient and leave them up to themselves, or we could try to put the effort into figuring out whom each of they are, what they want to do, whether they want to come with us, and this is also a transport ship.
If I wasn't
It's
looking
not-
for the money, I would be asking which one is their representative. But like their
all
leader.
right.
Yeah,
So,
that's my first thought, is asking
I'm gonna
which
get the
is
money, though.
the representative, and are these manacles electronic?
Yes, you can release all the manacles.
Don't
So,
do it yet.
Tom,
Don't
No,
do
yeah,
that
my
yet.
no, that's not my thought. Yeah, you're right. My thought is to ask, like Tom said, which is your representative? Whom is your representative? And then detach some of the monocles just to come speak with them, like just so we can speak with them, and also show that we're willing to work with you here. We want something on this ship, but you can have the ship. And the idea is that we should allow some representatives to talk to them. That's my vote.
Also, did we keep any way to communicate with Frank?
yeah, you can use your the ship communication to just call back down to the
Is he
planet.
because I don't know if he can do anything with that ship, because I guess this ship is also might be flagged, so it's not necessarily a good
true.
idea.
Yeah. Take them both back. Get them
Well,
both scrubbed.
I
Turn them loose.
well, let's find the money
Yeah.
first,
the
because
Give me the
when
money.
it'll be from there we can patch into Frank and say, like, hey Frank, this is us, we got the money, but we need you to do a double scrub.
Okay. So it is midnight.
Do you want to roll? It's
Well,
Good
we
Friday
can either
tomorrow.
finish the rest of this off in the chat, or we can do it quick now.
Let's do it quick now.
I'm good to
Better
do
for
it quick
podcast
now while we're
listeners.
here.
Okay. Okay. So
So
you find in
to ask you a
the
bunch
in the
of
hold
questions.
about
Sorry.
you find like 4 like steamer trunk sized crates. They look like they weigh a few hundred pounds each easily, and this is the collected credits. There's probably maybe 15,000 credits in actual like coin credits, which is more money than any of you have ever seen in one place. You also find that the prisoners, they do have a representative. They have an oon who's got like he's the size of like a softball. He's like a tiny oon, and he says that his name is Jean with 2 H's. And he's like, so, all right, so you guys got you all have the ship. What do you want to do with us?
and I like to think I patch in. Oddly enough, MacPack just seems to have a catalog of past, and will communicate sometimes in like past flashes of pop culture, and just communicates to Tom from Samuel L. Jackson's voice. Are we happy?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
We-
my vote
we
is that
happy.
we get like 200 friendly NPCs, and like put them somewhere where we can maybe come back to them and be like, like create
What if
like
they
a
don't
little.
We
wanna
can
be
give them
there?
our number.
They're not slaves.
So Jean
Let's
says,
give them our number.
wait,
give them the
we're-
ship. I'm with
we
Tom.
are all from Knotwood. There is nowhere better for us than going back to Knotwood. Just
Are
put
you
us
sure?
somewhere away from the city.
Won't they
Yeah,
know where
it's-
you are?
It's a planet. It's a forest the size of a planet,
All right.
and
Yeah.
as long as they don't track the ship coming back, maybe you should like let us fly down and then space the ship, let it finish its route through the bridge.
MacPack says.
Ooh, we could rig it to blow.
we have-
It'll look like an accident.
MacPack says quite logically, we have what we came for. You can either have the ship, or we can send you home. What would you prefer?
Home.
I say we blow
right.
the ship as well.
Sure, fine enough, but let's get them down there first because
Yeah.
we can't transport 200 people on our ship.
I'm going to radio back and talk to one of our other crew members and be like, can we keep an eye on sensors while we're running around?
And
Right,
everybody's
so-
like, radio? Like, what's a radio?
So you take the two ships and you fly toward the bridge, and then you divert toward the South Pole and land down in a sparsely populated area. You let the 200 prisoners go. They are ecstatic. They are thrilled as pigs in shit to be freed and to not be being forced to go to some terrible work planet or into the fight with the night terrors, because you're gonna die if you fight the night terrors.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Then you
Fuck off.
set the ship to on a pre-programmed course to fly back out.
But we salvage some of
we'll strip what we
the
can
EMP
from
and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And
you
the
can-
fuel.
with tank fuckers help.
You gotta leave some fuel in it because that's gonna
clearly.
be what it's gonna blow up with.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh.
But
Who's
can we
good at
take
making
any fuel or
boom?
no?
But the EMP sounds a good idea. We don't
Yeah.
have one.
You strip out the EMP. You take half of its fuel, so you get yourself you get back the amount that you used giving away to the last ship, and enough to fill up what you used getting here. So you're back to the more than 3/4 that the ship had when you got it originally, which is great. And so do you want the explosion to be spectacular and devastating, or just an explosion?
We don't want evidence that there's not bodies, so the bigger the better.
Okay, so you
I go for
program
that,
you program the ship to
do we get
fly back toward
lasers
the
or
Knotwood Bridge.
neutrinos?
No.
No, okay.
Do I need
But
to
we
roll
got the-
warp to cause this explosion?
Yeah.
Might go up with a burp rather than
I rolled a
bang.
3.
It's not bad. You basically, I'm going to say that you program the ship to start going into warp a little too soon before getting on the bridge, and also a little too close to the structure of the bridge. And it kind of has a real life right now quality, where the ship just, instead of going through the bridge, hits the bridge and explodes in a giant fireball, and also breaks
Damages the
Knotwood
bridge.
in half, which means anyone coming from GA space to check you out will now also have to come the long way.
Ooh.
So I'm like,
Well, that's an
I
added.
meant to do that.
That's an everybody wins
Whoa.
scenario.
Wow.
All right.
Vanessa with the skills.
We might have. We
Maybe
may have
overreached.
also.
You can see it from the surface. You can see like a little.
Okay, we just
So
made the
we've-
news. Oops.
Yeah, and the trade-off is we have 200. Well, no, as for all they know, a bunch of drunken truckers crashed into the bridge, ruined the bridge and themselves in the process. We have 200 very appreciative people on a planet that
Hey,
is
guys,
now
we have a village.
isolated from a very corrupt coordinate. Like, yeah, this sounds fun.
We could start charging them taxes.
No.
All right. Well, we
It's all
got
right, guys.
we
I
got
saved
friends
you
in
from
low
these
places.
guys. There's gonna be a little cost to that.
We
Pardon
get the
me?
crates to Frank Tucker. We
Mhm.
get our ship
Nope.
scrubbed, or is that going to be next game?
I'm gonna do that in the chat
Okay.
Sounds good.
because it's past midnight and I gotta work tomorrow.
Sleepy's
Oh,
good.
okay.
This is really fun. Have fun at
Oh,
work.
thank you.
I will be working tomorrow too, for what it's worth.
Happy
Good luck
Good
with work,
Friday
guys.
to anyone who,
Observates the esters.
Either ironically or otherwise.
Uh-huh.
Enjoy all. Have a wonderful long weekend, and this was really fun. See you next
Oh.
week.
Yeah, that was
Super
awesome.
nice.
I'm shocked I didn't
Nice.
not lob off an arm. That will save.
Yeah.
I'm
For
just
next
glad
time.
you didn't spill your coffee.
Well, that's apparently the secret. You gotta close the bulb,
All right.
and you're good.
Good night, my friends.
Thanks very much,
night.
everybody. Great to see you.
Take care. Well,
And with that, that concludes our episode for right now. Thanks very much for joining us. Don't forget, you're always welcome to check out previous episodes on either podcast or YouTube for visual enhanced podcast available on YouTube. And you can also check us out in all the podcast places, Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, all that. It would be awesome if you don't mind to click the like, the subscribe, to tell a friend, to say, hey, these people, they play a game and it's worth a listen. So thanks very much for joining, and we'll see you next time, floating in space. Cheers.
The 5 Ds of dodgeball. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.